Alright, back at the boat. Now, I remember my camera today, so I'm going to show you a little bit of the work I've been doing. We have here, I started working on the rudder, pulling the pivot point out and checking the condition. As you can see, there's a little bit of work to be done here. Repair all this through here, where the 3 bolts went through. This here has got a crack through there that was repaired by using filler to fill up the hole, and then they put fiberglass over the top, which is not really that good at all. So, and this whole layer here, I can feel it right through here. Needs to be taken out, cut out, and expose the core, and redo that. On the other side, I had to dig down here about half an inch to get down to the original repair. You can see there's stains here in these what used to be cracks, and they've obviously worked over the top of that. And all of this had to be taken all the way back here because it had been delaminating. Osmosis, I guess. I may have to look up through here next, as well as there. As you can see, these rust stains here, these are water stains from inside their fiberglass, and it appears up here there's a hole there, so and it's wet. We just had 5 minutes of rain here, so I'm thinking that water could be getting in through the top somewhere and leaching down into the rest. So this rudder is going to come off. Now, to get it off, there's about 2 feet of rod going up into the hull. If you look down there, I don't have 2 feet of room under there, so I'm going to have to dig a hole for the rudder to drop down into to dig it out, because I'm not lifting 5-ton of boat. But what that also allows me to do, once I've got the rudder out, I can take this prop shaft out, because the seals are going to have to be repacked on the shafts in the hull, and I want to put a new bush in there, because this one does have movement and it is worn out. I don't know if you can see that. I'm pulling and pushing and it's moving about 1/8 of an inch side to side. So the bush in there in this mount here has to be replaced. Then I can also polish up the stainless steel prop shaft, and while it's out, I'll also check to make sure that it's straight, make sure it's running true, because if it's bent even slightly, it'll cause vibration through the boat when it's running, on top of what you normally get with the engine. Now, what's something else we can look at down here? Well, that's probably about the main amount of repair work we'll find on this part of the boat. The rest of the hull, it's very good. I mean, this is mainly just going to be a sanding job. There are no bubbles to be found anywhere, no leak stains or brown streaks of where there is osmosis going on anywhere. So we're good for the rest of the hull. So that's a major plus, because once you start sanding through the top layers of fiberglass, it may not seem much, but it does slightly weaken the structure. And obviously there's a lot of labor involved. Now, I would take you upstairs and have a look inside again, but Carlos's stuff is still on the boat, so that'll have to wait for another time. I put my bar fridge in the where the stove would go, and right now the fridge is on. It's got power. The power works in the boat, and I've put a bunch of drinks in there, so when I do come working down here, I've got cold drinks to draw upon. So we got to do, we still got to take off this name off the boat. It has to come off. We're going to put our own name on the boat. Not exactly sure what we're going to call it yet. Tranquility would be nice, or Serenity, something peaceful, or something a bit more obvious like Barefoot Cruising or something like that. Who knows? We'll come up with something. something that we both like, Vic and I. And there's really not much else to show you at the moment. I've picked up some fiberglass supplies, and I've ordered the anti-foul paint that's in the mail. I've ordered some more sanding discs, and so that's all just waiting for that to arrive. I've got the sealant for the stays for the rigging of the mast, so that's taken care of. I've got a big roll of butyl mastic for other jobs, for sealing around the boat. I noticed that this short lane that we had, the starboard side rear port window has a leak, so that would be that big black one right there. So I'm going to have to pull that off and reseal it. Just time, that's all it is. Time and labour, but it'll get done. What else can I look at? That's about it, I think, for now. I also discovered there's another water tank in the bow of the ship, inside of the boat. So we've got 3 big water tanks in the boat. Oh, and it's got a hot water system in it as well. Great big lump of thing in the engine compartment. So I'm not sure whether we're going to keep it or not. It looks pretty old, looks a bit scungy. The idea that you can't use it for showering because it doesn't carry enough. I don't know if you... I'd have to check the specs on it, take the part numbers down and just see what exactly it does. But it does take up a lot of room, and it makes it difficult for me to work in the engine compartment because of it. So it might come out too. Especially if I can find a smaller one. If I can get a smaller one and they're not too expensive, getting something that can fit into a smaller compartment would be a good idea. For ease of access, ease of maintenance. Yep, so that's about it for this video. Enjoy, talk to you soon.